I have in the house that crazy one whose voice wakes you up every morning and he goes on and on and on. Donald Senna, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
That's that's the commonest word in your vocabulary. I thought I was bad with absolutely until I started hearing Donald Senna. Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, good morning, my chairman. I mean, it was actually an explosive night. That was last night. But then again, we are back on the MIC to do what we know how to do best. A pleasure it is getting to share the microphone with Mathematical 7.
The guy, once he takes off like this, it's like jet plane. And of course, the cool one. Last night I saw him dancing. The guy can move. The guy can move. The guy can move. He's cool and collected. Very calculative. Ayobami Lawal. Let's hear your voice, old man.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Donald. Good morning, Mathematical 7. Good morning, Abeokuta. I mean, it was glamorous last night. GSE Fiesta. You missed it. I mean, you missed a lot. We had fun. Fans turned up, and it was a good one to behold. Good to be back on the MIC this lovely morning. And yes, I'm sure we also are going to have another fun time on the radio also too this morning.
And of course, the big man himself, the big masquerade, the one that his colleagues call maximum goal poacher, who hasn't poached even one single goal since I know him. Oga Maxwell.
Good morning, sir.
This one, I'm an OAP, like you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm feeling excited. I'm loving it, sir, because you don't get to, have such rare opportunities every day.
Very, very
You're
rare
sitting
indeed.
in the same studio with Mathematical 7. You're not just sitting, you are like a guest on his show.
I am privileged to be sitting with you professional, you professional presenters on radio. You know me, my own is just I just come here and I just talk anyhow. You know, no training, no nothing, and you guys without any prompting from anywhere, young, vibrant, intelligent, journalists that you are, you just came in and you have taken Eagle 7 Sports Radio from number whatever it was that we were before. I'm just waiting for this month's rating. We were number 3 in Ogun State last month.
Yes,
and this is the handiwork of you and all the others who are in this organization. And I just want to use this opportunity to thank all of you, the engineers, the technicians, the graphic people, the business people, your accountant, but particularly all your OAPs who have been doing a terrific job. So I'm honored to be sitting with you. And, I will be asking some questions. You two can go ahead and ask questions. Yes, and, of course, we'll be getting reactions from the public. The telephone number, again, is 0700 2244 1037. So you'll be able to call us at any time during today's show to pass your comment as we begin the countdown to the end of 2024. And you see, these people will not even wait. They will not even wait. Well, it's gone, but I predicted or I projected that in 2025, we want to take people to where they have never been before. You guys have worked with me for about 2 years now. You have been in sports heavily. Do you sense it? Do you feel it? Do you believe it? You know, what is going to happen? I'm talking of our radio station now before we talk of sports.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Good morning to you once again. And, you went home appreciating the OAPs. The truth is these things would never have been accomplished without your support, the encouragement, the push is different from, what we get. So we also want to use the opportunity to say thank you for giving us that platform, yes, to show our skills and what we can do on the microphone. And when you talk about taking our listeners to where they've never been before, we've started it already because we have already put into motion a radio station that is not just a regular radio station. We don't talk sports. We are a sports radio station, so it's different. Eagle 7 Sports Radio is beyond what human can even comprehend right now, because what we're doing here, it's redefining sports broadcasting. I'm coming from the background, so I know what I'm talking about. I've been into this for 15 years thereabout. You know, upon getting to Eagle 7, I see that, yes, it's a different approach. You can talk sports and love sports and enjoy sports, and you are not a sports fan. It's about carrying everyone along. It's about talking sports and doing other things, while others are talking other things and doing a little bit of sports. So we are a very unique station, and taking you to where you've never been. Already, we have a massive content in terms of on-air presenters right now. What we dish out on a daily, our contents are nowhere else. You can take that to the bank. What we do is different from what others are doing right now. For instance, here we are, broadcasting on 90 Minutes with Mathematical. We're not only on terrestrial radio, we're right there on YouTube. You can also listen online. You can watch anywhere that you want to. This is what I call comfort. So you don't have to sweat it. You don't have to say, oh, I can't get you guys. I'm traveling. It's festive. It's the festive period. We are everywhere right now. And just to allow my colleagues to also have a say on this one, Eagle 7 Sports Radio, it's now spreading beyond just Ogun State. Yes, it's not just... Southwest should be ready for what is coming to them, because Eagle 7 has come to say the Eagle has landed, and it's even going to get bigger than this. I think we've already taken them there, sir. Yes, we are on that route right now where they've never been before.
Let me just take it up from where the maximum goal push has stopped. When we are talking about Eagle 7 Sports Radio 103.7 FM, when it comes to sports, to the blind, we are the vision. To the deaf, we are the sound. To the hungry, we are the chef. And also to the thirsty, we are the water. All of those are not just saying. That's what we say, putting you right in the heart of the action. When we say we take you closest to the action, all of those are not just saying by just words of mouth. We also do it. We also do the practical part of it. And it must be noted that Eagle 7 Sports Radio, we have definitely redefined the game. The sports fans can tell that, yes, there's been a difference in quality of broadcast.
So let's hear Ayobami.
Yeah.
Ayobami Lawal.
I mean,
The
just
cool
like,
and calculated and collected voice on Eagle 7 Sports Radio. Just your thoughts. And maybe you should take it, extend it a little bit, and start to look at 2024, the highlights, the good parts, the terrible parts of 2024. Maybe you want to just go into that direction, and let's see.
Yeah, I mean, not too much to say. The maximum goal poacher and the big game player have spoken, and also the callers. I mean, have spoken at length, and also, I mean, giving you and also giving us reason why the station itself has gone from the heights we are right now. But it's a good one for Eagle 7 Sport Radio. Looking at how far we have come and looking at where, I mean, we are going also to the vision where we are going. And I think there's a whole lot to achieve going forward also too. And also too at large, going into the new year 2025, couple of days now also too, I mean, Nigerian Sports also too needs to do something of a more improvement going into those games. I mean, you said it in your editorial. I mean, the year started on a shaky note, the Super Eagles, Nations Cup. What a year could have been if the Super Eagles had gone on to the AFCON. Maybe could have been a different story. Maybe the Olympic Games, the D Tigers participation, Bromance, controversies, everything would have turned out the way it all panned out. But going forward, I think there's a whole lot to still be done in the game, and I think the onus rests on the authorities to to try to like adjust or do something concerning that one. Donald, I think you should help me here with this one.
I mean, actually, it's been a fantastic year in the area of sports. And looking at the 34th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, not a whole lot of persons gave the Super Eagles of Nigeria the benefit of the doubt with regards making it as far as the final. But then again, mathematical sevens must be noted, was always vocal, was always supporting the Super Eagles of Nigeria vehemently. He was always speaking unequivocally that Super Eagles of Nigeria were going to make Nigerians proud, although we did not view it from that prism he was viewing it from. But he also did not know why he was saying all of those, but he was just confident that Super Eagles of Nigeria were going to pull the chestnut out of the fire. But then again, proud to the AFCON, you were not going to blame Nigerians for being pessimistic and not being sanguine about the performances of the team, because they've not covered themselves in so much glory at all. But they went into the African Cup of Nations. I recall the first game was against the Equatorial Guineans, whereby the game ended 1-1, and Nigerians were like, oh, just look at the team that you're saying they will go as far as the final. But it was just the first game under the former manager, Jose Victor dos Santos Pesero. And then we saw how the Super Eagles were able to grow as the tournament progressed. We saw them in the second game against the Ivorians here. That was against the host nation, the Elephant of Cote d'Ivoire. A whole lot of persons felt that, considering the fact you lost against, we drew against Equatorial Guinea, that going into the second game against the Elephant of Cote d'Ivoire, Super Eagles of Nigeria stood no chance at all. But Super Eagles of Nigeria went to that game, they pulled the chestnut out of the fire, and at that particular point in time, for me, I felt that was like the turning point for the team in the tournament, and Nigerians began to see that, look, seems as if something good can come out of this team. And Super Eagles of Nigeria did well by consolidating on what they did in their third game against Guinea-Bissau, whereby the nation were victorious 1-0, and going into the round of 16, another familiar foe right there. Rivalry was rekindled against the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, 2-0. That's the game that Nigeria scored the most goals in the tournament, because it must be noted, Super Eagles of Nigeria, it was all about scoring just one goal here and there. The team did not score thriller loads of goal, and the team also did well by having a rock-solid or a watertight defense, ably led by the skipper himself. Talk about Captain Marvel, according to Mathematical 7, William Troost-Ekong, who also went on to become the MVP of the tournament. And in the quarterfinal, it was facing the Angolans.
My friend, you are taking over my show. He has started his own commentary again.
That's the problem.
Look, you're there live and direct as well.
No. Leave that. What concerns me with that Nations Cup, we're just going to talk about that now. What concerns me, not all the rundown that Donald has started to give us, is that the biggest star of 2023 Nations Cup,
yes,
Victor Osimhen, African Player of the Year. Now, 1 year, less than 1 year, 10 months later, we're having Africa's Best Player Award. Victor is not there at all. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah.
What do you think happened?
A lot of factors led to that. First, we'll look at Victor's parent club, that's talking about Napoli. You recall how, the transfer saga dragged on. In the process, Victor has even changed his agent. There were issues, how his agent couldn't land him that dream move to one of the top teams out there in Europe. In the process, he had to switch agents. You look at all of that playing a major role in Victor not finishing as, the top 5 Africa's best player, because he didn't get to play the kind of football that we saw him play in 2023, where Napoli went on that massive run to win the Scudetto titles. And even when the season started, after he had won the title, he was struggling. The first few games, he had injuries, so he was sidelined. Even when he came to Nigeria, I think he also picked a knock.
Yeah, he was always injured.
Yes,
yeah.
He picked one knock in one of the games that he got invited for Nigeria to play. After that, Osimhen went down in terms of his pecking order. He just went down, and before you know it, we're looking at a loan move to where? Not Spain, not England, but Turkey. This is another factor I think must have considered to that. Yes, he's playing fine football, he's scoring goals week in, week out for Turkey, but when we look at the year in review here, you know that Victor Osimhen has already knocked himself out of reckoning as far as being the top African player. So I also share your worries, sir. Because from being the best in Africa, the least that we should get is for you to finish among the top three, or at least top 5.
I mean,
But
maximum
it's
goal
not there,
poacher.
so
To also chime in on
Yes.
that conversation, I also feel that looking at the CAF awards as well, they were just being magnanimous by even putting him in the CAF best 11.
11
And I
first.
felt they did that simply because he was the current
He has the
footballer
gong, yeah.
of the year in Africa before it went to Ademola Lookman. Because when you look at the year in retrospect here, for Victor James Osimhen, he did not really live up to the billing or live up to the expectation when he won the Scudetto with the Glazers of Napoli last season. This season, obviously, man has been dealt with a whole lot of injuries, and that saga, yes, like you said, he cut ties with his agent, Roberto Calenda, right there. Yeah, from Napoli before he even got that deal to the Lions of Galatasaray. We knew that he was like, where is he going to play? Was he going to Chelsea? Was he going to
Even Man U was
PSG? Even
in
Manchester United? At some point, we heard of the Arsenal as well. So basically, he was not playing and he was also out injured. So all of those combined
And
definitely.
don't forget also the controversy with Finidi George.
Definitely,
Yeah,
that's
coach,
another
yeah.
massive one. That outburst.
That's in fact, to me, yes, many might not see it from that, perspective. I think that contributed a whole lot.
And MGP, to think that it was also at that particular point in time that the Glazers of Napoli, their president Aurelio De Laurentiis, appointed Antonio Conte.
Yes.
And we know Antonio Conte to be a no-nonsense manager. I'm sure you would have seen that outburst by Victor James Osimhen on George Finidi, the current manager of Rivers United, and say, yo, look, I don't want this man. I'd rather go for Romelu Bolingoli Lukaku.
So, just to cut the long story short, these are some of the reasons why I think Victor Osimhen definitely did not make it to the top 5 African best player. Not far from it. I maybe want to look at the voting. He never made it to the top 5.
He never
so there
made
was
it
no
at all.
point of looking at
Well,
voting
another
procedure.
big thing that happened in that year, people don't see that very much, but another big thing that happened is the reward. The reward for not winning, the reward for coming second.
For coming second.
And it is unprecedented in the history of this country to be that lavishly rewarded. What could be the impact of what happened at that time? Could it be positive? Could it be negative? When you really, really think about it. It's good to reward, when it is earned, just as our players earned it. But not winning is the big difference. Let's take this call. Hello? Hello? Well, this is Eagle 7 Sports Radio, 90 minutes with mathematical. Ayobami Lawal. That's the next voice you'll be hearing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think for that one, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, yeah, you said it. I mean,
Go on.
oh, take it. Reward coming second, I think in the long run, is not going to sit fit for future Eagles. I mean, they didn't ultimately win the prize, and they're being lavished with that sum of exorbitant prize and reward. I think it should have been something of a more lesser reward, I feel. The team didn't go into the competition on a strong note, looking to, as a favorite, going into that one to win it. We started the competition on a shaky leg. Got some good performances, some individual runs, players like Ademola Lookman, also Moses Dadi Simon coming in play to galvanize the team. It wasn't really a team effort at the competition, the AFCON. But then, I mean, the team went all the way to the final, coming in second. Just some little mistakes here and there, depriving them of winning that one. Coming back to the country, I felt they put smiles on a lot of Nigerians, because lots of Nigerians didn't expect them to go all the way to the final. After the Nations Cup, we've been neither here or there, couldn't get wins to get us into the ultimate driving seat qualifiers for the World Cup. Right now, we're languishing, I think, 5th on the standings. Looks like the Super Eagles might not qualify. for the World Cup. Also, I mean, you talk about the Nations Cup. I still feel if Libya had gone through with that game, Nigeria might have gotten it difficult qualifying the way we did for the Nations Cup come next year. So a lot. But coming back to the main topic, talking about the gift, the honors gifted to them after the Nations Cup, I feel it was too much for a team that came second, not winning the ultimate prize, just like many Nigerians also thought. And I think for future Eagles also to coming now, they'll say, okay, I think if you can get to the final, even not winning it is good as coming good, which is not the ultimate, which is not the perfection. The perfection is going all the way, winning it, and getting the glory.
Well, that's debatable, but yeah, those are your thoughts. Sometimes you don't have to come first to be a winner.
Really?
Sometimes you don't have to come first to be a winner.
But
that's debatable.
Yeah.
Generally, what do you think of other sports in 2024 in Nigeria? It's like there's hardly anything to talk about in other sports.
Yes.
It's like we went through a depression. So how can we start to project into 2025 positively, with despair, or negatively? I don't even know what to think. But somehow, I have a feeling that we just went through a phase that would manifest into something much bigger in Nigerian sports in 2025. I don't know how you feel about it. Maximum Go Pucha.
Yes, sir. You're spot on. But these things are not going to be wished. They're not mere wishes. The good thing is, we have technocrats on the seats of power right now in terms of those who lead our sports. So we await 2025 to see what becomes of sports in Nigeria. But Big Sheikh, we can't possibly talk 2024 in retrospect and not mention the Olympic Games. That's one disastrous Olympic, because en route to the Olympic, the then Minister of Sports, Senator Eno, came out to set a target that athletes were going to the Olympics to outdo 1996 team. Yes, if you recall, he said that. Yes, he said that and Nigerians were like, wow, that means our federations have really prepared. And I thought they have prepared too, because when you look at wrestling, you look at weightlifting, we've always been, hopeful in terms of medals for these sports. I was shocked, that not even wrestling could earn us a medal. So it was a disaster. I just think we know what to do, but we failed to do it. Reason why I said, good a thing we have technocrats. Hopefully things will change. I love the fact that, Big Sheikh, you've continued to see only the best. I love to see through your eyes a lot. I remember at the Nations Cup, Donald mentioned it. We were all here. You come in every day, every time, every match day, positive. And I'm like, I'm a positive guy, but I don't see what Big Sheikh sees. So it's same with 2025. You're already, looking at 2025 and seeing big things happening. I want to still stick to that. Let me continue to see through your lenses right now, because if you ask me, seriously, there's really nothing to look for. We are struggling to qualify for the World Cup. Are we even going to qualify?
Are we going to qualify?
If I ask Big Sheikh
We have
say
six games to execute, and those 6 games we must not drop points.
Must win
Just
everything.
imagine.
Win at all costs. The 6 games and away games.
And recall again, Big Sheikh, the money that was spent at the Olympics. So all these, when I look at them, I look at 2025, say, God help us. Let our sports actually come out of this doldrum, because it's sleeping. We are a sleeping giant right now. We can't even win a medal at the Olympics. It's I don't know. To me, it's unforgivable. But it's Nigeria. We've already moved on. We say you want to win a gold or a medal at the Olympics, you need 4 years of preparation. Have we started preparing? I pretty much doubt that, sir.
I don't know. Ayobami was actually going through our Super Eagles thing, qualifying for the World Cup.
Okay, yes.
Is it possible?
It is.
Okay. You say we had 6 games?
6 games.
6 games to go.
And we have to win all 6.
Win
sir.
all 6.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Win all 6.
If we don't win all 6, what happens?
That's
we
the
have
end.
to wait. The
We have to win all
permutation
6.
starts.
Oh, okay. We start.
Then we start opening on our group opponents to draw points, on lose games, on draw games.
I mean, Super Eagles of Nigeria in a very, very precarious situation. 5th on the log with 3 points.
3 points. Wow.
Rwanda top the group with 7 points. South Africa second with 7 points as well. The Cheetahs of Benin Republic third with 7 points. Lesotho fourth with 5 points. Zimbabwe are the only team. Super Eagles of Nigeria are better than. Zimbabwe have got 2 points in that group and they sit rock bottom. So for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, it's very imperative that going into that World Cup qualifiers, they need to win all of their games. And when you say win all of their games, that's going to be an equivalent task. It's going to be like climbing Mount Everest.
It's near impossible, sir.
It's
MGP.
possible. It's possible. It's quite
near,
possible.
I said it's
possible.
near impossible.
Yeah, MGP, recall that for the AFCON
Not these
qualifiers,
Eagles.
Super Eagles of Nigeria failed to win an away game. The only away game Super Eagles of Nigeria won, they did not play against the Mediterranean Knights of Libya.
Yeah.
3 goals and 3 points.
3 points.
So when you look at it from that point of view, you understand that Super Eagles of Nigeria is going to be very, very difficult to qualify for 2026 World Cup. Also considering the fact that 2024 is almost gone and we don't have a substantive head coach for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So how is it going to happen?
And it's a good thing we have, one who, personifies Super Eagles.
Exactly.
It makes me feel like I should just go all guns blazing.
But
So
we
that
need to
big check-
suspend that.
Look, my own, I'm looking at my lenses now. Just listening to you, I've started looking at my lenses and I'm afraid. For the first time, I just heard Ayobami's voice.
Yeah.
Yes. The man has just made me afraid. I don't even know what to start to think now. Maybe I need to go back to the crystal ball and start to work on it a little for Nigeria's sake. Anyway, this is Eagle 7 Sports Radio. We are reaching you from the city of Wassim. It's now a city, it's not a town again. Donald will always say, what's that? How does he describe it? That rural.
Do your thing. Let him do his thing. Do your thing.
Yes, we are reaching you from there. 103.7. Reaching out to the world. You can hear us anywhere you are in the world. You can watch us sometimes. And it's just wonderful. So we have been discussing 22 to 2024, and we are projecting into 2025. 2024 has been a mixed year. 2025, from the voices around me here, for football, it sounds a little bit, there's so much fear and apprehension, but something just tells me that it's going to be a great year. I don't know, what sport? Is it basketball now?
Athletics is also.
Athletics.
Athletics is also.
But we left 2024 in a depression with athletics.
But we have bundle of talents.
Okay.
That can actually go on to. There's the Godson Brume. There is a Shokeri. That's a Delta guy. There's also Esti Brume. There are names. Toby Amusa.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to put our name out there in athletics in 2025 with all the Diamond Leagues, the championship that they will be attending. That's why I think I would rather settle first for athletics to really give us a good 2025. Maybe you want to look at weightlifting and other sports. But for me, athletics
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
We
And
have-
Daniel
we have
Igali, I
this
thought he
guy.
has quit as the...
No, he has not quit. He only said that he's not going to be contesting going forward. That after his tenure elapses, then he's just going to just draw the curtain on it, that
and
he
it
has already done
elapses.
enough.
That's what I'm saying. It elapses this year.
Yeah.
So
And we're
because
already done
there will
with
be
2024.
elections in February. That's the first major tax for the NSC.
Exactly, to get someone that will fill into that boots of Daniel Igali, because indeed man has done a yeoman's job. I think he also
he's done
doubles
quite
as
a
the commissioner for sports right in
yes,
Bayelsa
Bayelsa State.
State, absolutely.
It's
I
just the
feel-
reason why we've done so well in wrestling. So that's why we are.
I mean, MGP, I think it would be a disservice if we leave 2024 without talking about the Paralympics as well. They also did well by putting smiles on the faces of Nigerians after the Olympians
And
went
they
there.
also cried for the same measure of gift.
Yes.
But they
And
didn't
it
get
became-
it.
they
Ju-
didn't
just
get
like
and it became
Mathematical
an
7
issue.
said, Super Eagles of Nigeria, yes, we know that they are the babies, they are the
The first
darlings,
love,
they are the first love of Nigerians. They came second and they were lavished with a
Yeah.
whole lot of prizes, even national honor as well. So unprecedented.
Yes, MON.
And now we saw the Paralympians, they did what the Olympians couldn't do. I often say something just like death and also taxes are constant. What is also constant is that Paralympians to always win you a medal at the Paralympics. irrespective of the fact that some person said, oh, at the Tokyo 2020, they won a total of 10 medals, but at Paris Paralympics, they won a total of 7 medals, bringing the nation's total medals to 87. That's indeed laudable, but they fell short by just 3 medals by the one that they won in Tokyo. But all in all, I want to say that it was not all gloom and doom for Team Nigeria for 2024 in retrospect. And also considering the fact that when you look at the team captain, yes, the team captain for the Olympic team, it was unprecedented. Juwon Anoluwapopoyori, badminton. That's absolutely mind-blowing.
And he crashed out in the first round.
Yeah.
But you got the experience.
You have to give kudos to the
too.
president of the Badminton Federation, Francis Obi, as well.
What of the military intervention now? It is not deliberate. It is not as if the military is intervening deliberately, but they did their own stuff, and they reminded us of what they can actually do. You know, that's what that situation is. They were just holding their own events and so on, and they now reminded us of their contributions in the past, what they have done now that is unprecedented. They fixed the National Stadium in Abuja. Within 2 months, that stadium was fixed to a usable stage. And for so many years, decades, people were telling us that that place could not be fixed, could not be used. We didn't use it, and so on and so forth. But the military came in and showed us it can be done. And now they are reminding us also that they can also use their own institutions, their facilities, to develop athletes within themselves and add to the pool for Nigeria as a whole. So what do you think of the military intervention generally? Any one of you?
Okay, let me go on this one first. I think it's a welcome development, because we've always known the military for their discipline, and whenever they set their eye on something, they set a goal, they are always about accomplishing it 100%. You know, they are they do things spick and span clean. They just want it done properly. So I think if you bring that into our sports system, where it's been kind of docile, the administrators are just all about one-man show. They want to be the one to call the shots, tell the athletes where to train, where not to train, and they don't have any say as it has to do with the funding of these athletes. So I think the military, they have a huge role to play in this regard. But I have my reservation as well, because my mindset, maybe I just need to be talked to, but I think the military might not be able to accomplish whatever, you know, they set out to do in the area of helping the NSC or helping our sports athletes, giving facilities and all of that, due to their primary assignment. I know in the past they've often produced, you know, athletes, but can we still get that from the military with all the issues?
Would they be combining their security activities with sports?
Back then, sir, I don't know if we had issues like we have these days.
We had a war. We fought a war.
And
if you go back into history, you find that we've always had all kinds of issues. All kinds of issues. But one interesting thing, just before we start our countdown to the end of the show, is a new development that Maximum Goal Pucha and I know about. It's in the offing. We want to revive the tradition of commentating.
Yes, sir.
Commentating, radio commentaries for our local sports.
The NPFL.
The MPFL
games,
and so on. The
NPFL
MPFL
games.
in particular.
Okay.
I hope that arrangement comes through. But what do you guys feel? You are the guys on the field. Going back to become Ernest Okonkwo again, Sebastian Oforum. I know you know those names of the
it
previous
rings a bell.
commentators.
Yeah.
They brought life to sports. They gave sports life that it did not even have on the field of play. In those days, people would go to the stadium to watch a match, and they will take their radio sets and hold their radio sets to their ears whilst they were watching a football match, because the commentaries actually gave additional life to those games. So what are you reporters, you didn't experience it then, but what do you think now? I know Donald will go there and fire everything up.
I might not have experienced that of Ernest Okonkwo, but before I got on radio, I recall I used to listen to the Maximum Goal Poacher, and some of our egbons, them, like we call them in local parlance, bra, when I go to the viewing center as well, I always go with my radio set as well and always plug my earpiece. I'm watching the game and I'm still listening to commentary. All of those formed the passion that we have for what we are doing currently, and just getting to hear what you said right about now, indeed it gives me chills talking about running commentary for the MPFL. I've also say something that we propagate the gospel of our own. We are the apostles of Nigerian football, and at the end of the day, if we don't blow our own trumpet, no one will blow it for us, and even if they blow it for us, they wouldn't blow it as much as we want them to blow it. It's indeed mind-blowing to know that we will be running commentary on MPFL games. Interestingly, right here on Eagle 7 Sports Radio 103.7 FM, we have a show called the MPFL Show. It's used to be MPFL every Friday, 2 to 3 p.m., but right about now, it has been extended to 2 to 4. And I recall when we just started, sometimes the sports fans will come and be like, guys, I'm bored. Don't talk about the Nigerian Premier Football League again. Let's talk about Chelsea. Let's talk about United, Barca, Real Madrid. But then again, we continue doing what we are doing, and with the way we are reporting, with the way we are presenting it and also delivering it, the sports fans started falling in love with it. And right about now, it is 2 hours, and we get calls. They start calling in, They want to talk about their favorite club. They want to talk about Shooting Stars of Ibadan, the Oluyole Warriors. They want to talk about the pride of Rivers United. No, they want to talk about the Aba Giants. Just name it. It is endless. And to think that right about now, we now have a team based in Lagos in the MPFL, that has also brought more razzmatazz and also more glitz and glam to the MPFL, because it's been a very, very long time Lagosians witnessed football in the MPFL. Last season, it was all about Sporting Lagos. They came, they saw, they couldn't conquer, they went back to the NNL. Right about now, it's all about Ikorodu City, and we know how they are high-flying. And interestingly, the manager of the team, Nuruddin Aweroro, for November 2024, he was awarded as the manager of the month, despite the fact that he was not the manager that started the season with them. It was all about Bright or Zebagbe. But with Bright, they didn't get a bright result. A man left, or he jumped before he was being pushed. They brought in an interim manager. He has done well to steady the ship. What I'm just implying is that in recent times, Nigerians have definitely fallen in love with the MPFL, because they can also get to watch it on TV. You can also get to watch it on the live app as well. And we here as stakeholders, as lovers and also apostles of the league, we also propagate the gospel of the league. We get to tell them the name of the name of the managers of this team, their nicknames, the name of the stadium, stand-up players as well. Week in, week out, we are always doing this. At a particular point in time, it was as if we were spoon-feeding them. But right about now, they call you and tell you, oh, big game player, where is Eyimba on the log? Where is Rivers United on the log? Where is Nasarawa United on the log? They know these players, but maybe they might not be able to match a face to all of those players. But with us running commentary and also they're getting to watch it on TV, then it's just going to be better and also bigger. Truth of the matter is the sport fans can just keep their fingers crossed. Going into 2025, it's all about raising the bar. Like you said, excellence is our watchword, and indeed perfection is our lifestyle. Running commentary for the MPFL doesn't get bigger or better than that.
Yeah, quickly to just take it up from where Donald, left off. MPFL, many Nigerians don't really pay too much attention to it. Just like you said, they prefer the club football, the foreign club football. But with this initiative, if it eventually falls through, I think is one the fans themselves will also love. We're having issues even taking them to the stadium to go watch the games. Now bringing the game to them in their comfort zone might even propel them to, okay, I think I should go see the Southwest Derby come next week, and maybe try and see one or two of these players. Ronaldo, who the net burster, says he's good. And I'm sure it's going to be a nice one. I love it. I think it should come true. MPFL running commentary on it, and drawing fans closer to their favorite clubs. Right now, I can tell you a lot of fans here are already getting to pick up sites that they are supporting locally.
And to think that we've got qualitative managers in the MPFL,
ex-internationals,
Fidelis Lechuku with Rangers,
good players in
Daniel
the league.
Gumodede with Remo Stars,
good managers.
We've got the Bull himself with Lobby Stars as well. So it's quite interesting. It's good time. And interestingly, even in the NNL, which is the second tier of Nigerian football, we've got managers who were in the MPFL, in the NNL. That's quite interesting. It seemed like Barao FC actually have someone like Salisu Yusuf, who was someone that has definitely cut his teeth and knows his onion in the MPFL, is in the NNL. And interestingly, new teams are even springing up in the NNL. We've got Gosil Akpabio International, the Senate President of the country, the assistant or the Vice Senate President also has a team as well, Barao FC in the NNL. it's just interesting times for Nigerian football.
Yeah, interesting thing.
So, maximum goal per child, what are you offering us in the garden and the weekend sports, Saturday and Sunday?
Yes, sir.
The fanfare, the environment, and what are you offering us in the garden? So, let's invite people to come now.
Yes.
What is on offer?
The garden, if you're wondering, it's actually the Eagle 7 Bamboo Garden that the boss is referring to. It's right here in Wasimi. Last night, let me tell you a little about last night. Last night was awesome. Last night was unbelievable. It's a night I will not forget. Not because of the drink, but I saw my boss dance better than the man that
That's not
sang.
the question.
I'm coming.
He's
I'm
building
going.
his analysis.
Yes, better than whoever sang Synchro System. Olamide, right?
Feels featuring
Okay.
Olamide.
I've not seen the video, but I know
we
you
got the
did
video,
better
yes.
than whoever sang. It was unbelievable
Yeah.
night, sir.
Big chef
Thank you
giving us
very much
shots
for giving
down.
us that night.
Giving us big
So
steps.
if you want to see more of that, that is what we are offering.
Yeah.
And guess what? On Friday, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No, I'm talking of Saturday. You have these 5-6 hours of sports.
Oh,
something.
yes,
You
yes.
know,
That's ultimate football
Uh-huh.
experience. I wanted to pick it from the MPFL commentary you said, because
Okay.
Southwest is going to feel Nigeria League like never before. Boss talked about reviving the commentary, culture. We've been doing that. We've been serving you EPL. We go into the Champions League. We even delve into other leagues. But now we want to bring it home. East-West, they say home is best. MPFL, Southwest game, any game that we're having in this region, you should just get ready to get them live on Eagle 7 on the ultimate football experience. And that is not taking the sport of the EPL, the champion, all this, we're just pouring more. You know where you go, Mama, put FUC. About the FUC. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're actually, yes.
Just the point. They
Just
put am.
point it, yes, FUC. Show the to, koto, FUMeji more. Just like that. So it's massive. Ultimate football experience, the crew, AY, Donald, Femi, Kayode, Go Pocha. It's going to be massive. MPFL commentaries, that's unprecedented. And then taking it further. At the Garden would also be streaming and beaming some of these games live.
Yeah.
You have too many reasons to be at the Garden. Maybe you say, no, be only drink, they drink. I don't go. No.
You come to link up as well. You come
Yeah,
to
you
network.
link up,
Come
you
to meet
discuss
with
business.
friends.
You relax. You can virtually do anything. You can bring your laptop. The noise is too much. Bring your laptop. Sit,
Yeah.
It's open. It's a beautiful place. I don't
Okay.
used to like it.
let
but
me
boss
test all of
converted
you
me.
before we go. I want you to think about it. You have 30 seconds to think about it. That if you were to pick a sports personality of the year 2024, the sports personality, one person
Nigeria globally.
in Nigeria. No, we're talking Nigeria now.
Nigeria.
You have 30 seconds to think about it. The sports personality of the year, that's one. And the sports person of the year. It's, when I say personality, it covers everything. But whoever, whatever. But the sports person, I'm talking of the athlete. Who would you select as your athlete of the year? Let's take this last call. Hello? Hello? Raise your voice. Okay, let me start from Donald. Your 30 seconds are up. I know it's tough to just think of one name, somebody who has contributed so much, who has done so much, maybe won so much, maybe influenced so much, whatever it is. One sports personality, a Nigerian of the year. Who would you pick?
Sports personality of the year. I mean, that's
That's
massive.
huge. Yes.
It's really, really huge. We've got quite a number of sports right here in the country. But I think the person that would ordinarily come to my head if I want to pick one sports personality of the year, I think I'll go for Eniton Oshodi, ITTF president. I think I'll go for him. Man is an astute administrator. We'll see what he has done in the area of table tennis in Lagos. And when he was appointed the head honcho at the continental level, it did not come to quite a number of Nigerians as a surprise. Even the president of the federation had to send him a congratulatory message. So yes, it was indeed well deserved. And when you look at everything that man is doing, he's doing well to reposition and also put table tennis, not just in Nigeria, but right here in Africa on the map, and also to take it to the next level. We know that, yes, table tennis is similarly thriving, irrespective of the fact that someone would tell me that, yeah, when you look at the Olympics, it was the first time that all our table tennis players failed to win a single game. They all lost their first games and they crashed out. And obviously, one person who was making her 5th appearance at the Olympics, talk about Offiong Edem, also retired this year. So absolutely, in the world of table tennis, I have to give my sports personality of the year to Eniton Oshodi. Then for the sports athletes, Ademola Lookman.
Ayobami.
Yeah, I think I will do something similar, but this time there's discipline basketball. I have to give it to head coach of the Nigerian women's national team, Tokoba Rena Wakama. I mean, she has done a lot. She's done good. First female coach to win an Afro basket title. First female coach to lead Nigeria to victory against a top-ranked team, Australia, out there at the Olympics this year. First coach to lead an African basketball team to 2 wins in a single Olympic tournament. She's also the first coach to lead an African basketball team, either male or female, to a quarterfinals of the Olympic Games. No African country has done it. She is Rena Wakwama. She is Nigerian. And I think she has done a lot, I mean, for the sport. I just can't look past any other person. Yeah, lots of personalities, I mean, that have graced this year. But, I mean, for a lady in a sport that are also falling short this year, you know, there was crisis in the Basketball Federation this year.
The coach left, the former coach, Otis Ugly.
Otis, thank you for that, he left. So I just have to give it to Rena Wakama. And also, too, for the sport athlete of the year, who else than Ademola Lookman? I mean, man has put smiles on loads of Nigerian face, reigning African champ. Saw his picture sleeping with the trophy.
Reminds me of the Messi post.
Messi post. I was just seeing all his smiles when I saw it. It's just lovely year for the man. And those 2 names for me.
Well, for me, sir, I would, 2024, it's not a year that we want to start recording. I want to forget about 2024 really fast, like a bad habit, because it didn't really, save for maybe what Eagle 7 were able to do to bring the action to the people, but when you talk about what they brought to the table, it's really nothing to write home about. So for me, my sports personality of 2024, at the time where everyone was busy fighting to win laurels, they were developing, or he was developing sports in his state. I'll give it to the governor of Bayelsa State, Duyo Diri. It was massive. I can't recall any governor doling out the amount he actually doled out for sports development in Bayelsa State in 2024. If you recall, all over the screen, it's Bayelsa everywhere. It did so much, and I'm very sure in 2025 they will reap the dividends of that investment. So that's my personality, sports personality. And for the athletes, wow. Let me just follow the bandwagon. Because I find it hard to pick any other. Ademola Lookman for me, sir.
Yeah, very good. Who wins the EPL this year? Maximum goal poacher. Who wins?
Arsenal.
Ayobami.
I think Liverpool win it.
Donald.
I go with the Reds. They won't walk alone. They'll walk with the title.
Who wins the Champions League? Donald.
It's an expanded version, very, very tough right about now. But when you look at what has been done after match day 6, Liverpool are still on top. I think it's their title to lose.
Yeah, I think so. So Liverpool, and also not forgetting defending champion. They might not be doing it right now. They might scale in through the next round through the back door. But once they get into those rounds, you can't take it off defending champion. That is why they are one of the best clubs in the world. They know how to play the competition. So between Liverpool and Real Madrid for me.
Maximum goal
Very
poacher.
delicate position that Real Madrid, and I am not going to stick with them. I doubt if they can make it this year.
They just won the Intercontinental Cup.
It's that.
It's Real Madrid, Mr. Max.
This is Real Madrid. We are looking at top 8.
This is Real
and they are
Madrid.
not even close.
They are not.
I will not put my money. I'll go with Liverpool, sir. Liverpool,
Who wins the MPFL?
I want Remo Stars to win.
You won.
I'm not saying want. Who wins?
Remo Stars.
Donald.
I think Remo Stars will win the MPFL.
No, Rivers State. Rivers United will win it. Rivers United will win the
They will just
MPFL.
try.
Okay. Well, it's been wonderful this morning. How do I round this off? There are two people. I'm going to tell their story down the line. I don't know, for some reason, I get involved with people through my life somehow. You don't know the end from the beginning, you know. When she was 11 years old, I met her. She was classmate to my daughter. And I went to watch them because my daughter is also a singer. The elder daughter is a singer. And one night, I got to the house and they said my daughter had gone to one club to go and sing. This was in London. And I decided to go and see for myself. She was, I think, 13 or 14 years old. And I went there. And who was on the stage as backup singer to my first daughter? It was Tiwa Savage.
Wow.
She was 11 years old.
Mama Jam Jam.
And she was classmate to my second daughter.
Wow.
And I got to know them, you know, we interacted and all of that in London. In the same London, a couple of years ago, he was 11 or 12 years old. That evening, they asked me to come and watch my grand nephew play in Nonhead. There's this field in Nonhead where they were playing. They were all students of one class, St. Thomas College or something like that. They were fresh in secondary school. And I went to watch. And he was there. I think he was about 12 or 13. And I'm talking about Lukman Ademola. He was there as a child. I actually saw him play there. And I'm trying to recall all of that because he was brilliant on that day on the field. Now he's the greatest football player in Africa. I will tell him that story one day, and I'm going to do something about both himself and Tiwa Savage because, you know, I knew them when they were 11 years old. And finally, there's Shino, the BBC guy. Okeleji. When they were 11 years old. What is this, me and
11.
When they were 11 years old, three of them, they were in Igbobi College, I think they were in Igbobi College. They were secondary school students. 11, they were going to be 12. And I heard about them. I invited them. They came to my office. And I put three of them on television every Sunday or this Saturday afternoon. I created a television segment for them, 4 or 5 minutes of it, three of them. One of them is Wole Opatola, Shino Okeleji. And the third of them didn't pursue a journalistic career. But those two have become masters in journalism. And Shino just won an award recently, a global award in journalism. So somehow, fate throws all these young people at 11, 12 to me. So I'm looking for another 11, 12-year-old boy.
I have 12.
Don't know what about you?
I have 12, actually. I have 12.
So on that note, I want to thank all of you for being on the show. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. It's been terrific. Sharing time with my people here. These are the people that make me thrive. Every day I wake up and they are just making Eagle 7 Sports Radio to be what it is. So on behalf of all listeners around the world, I thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
We wish you Merry Christmas, and I wish the world a very happy 2025. That's all from me today. Join us again next week, Saturday, when we're going to have our first. Is Saturday next week going to be after the New Year or before?
No.
It's still going to be before. That will be our last show.
Yes, sir.
Our
Of the
last
year.
show for the year. So
Yeah.
you'll be joining me then for the last show of the year. Until then, bye from here. Bye-bye.